Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Reverse Rebirth. In the last episode, we met up with Repliku, and that was actually a rather throwing off fight though, because it was so hard to tell, especially when Riku's in the dark form. In this episode, we have now reached the second half of Riku's campaign, so we got the second set of the Disney World cards. And so we're going to go ahead and start with Atlantica, and I guess I might as well start off first. Well, I mean, I always go for the one that's shown to me first, and so I just go for that one, because that's usually how I do. But maybe it is better just get that one out and over with first, because you know, I'm sure you guys are, you know, probably want to have to go through and knock that out for having to constantly listen to Under the Sea, and you know, just get out of the way so that way there wasn't to listen anymore. And I mean, you know, for one thing, I don't really blame you guys, you know, if you had to constantly listen to Under the Sea as its overall theme, and you know, I understand, and you know, it can get annoying, I get it, and so you know, sometimes might grow tired of it too, but it's not the worst thing I've ever experienced, though. I mean, you know, I can try to live with that, though. I mean, I'm, you know, I'm most indifferent to it, though. But I will say that I just hate it even more so with Cinderella's Castle's overall theme and Birth by Sleep, where they fucking use bippity boppity boo. God, fuck, I hate that shit. I hate it so much. I said it before, and I will, you know, I will still continue to say this right here, that it's absolutely the worst idea to just, you know, have bippity boppity boo included or have as the overall theme for Cinderella's Castle and Birth by Sleep. That part I really do hate the most, for sure. So, anyway, so yeah, one thing I will say though is that it's another one of those worlds where, you know, well, the deck that's given to me or given you at this point, it's, well, not the best thing, but it's not as bad as the other decks from the previous worlds I've ever been to though. So, because you know, I still managed to take some good advantage of some stuff here and there. But I will say some of the enemies, well, especially the screwdrivers, they definitely do give me a lot of shit. Because, you know, they will always try to gang up on you, and then they'll constantly attack you. Like, there's going to be a lot of them, too. Where, you know, they'll attack quite a bit here. And it would get to the point where I would get so low on health, and it's only because, you know, either the Mickey cards wouldn't spawn, or even if they do, then it's always, like, low number cards. And so I was always over a high number card, but instead the game just gives me just low number cards, but well, at least in this case, I got a high number card in this one, though. But at this point, that was because, you know, I didn't have that low HP, so that's part of the reason. But if I do get low HP, you know what it is, Murphy's Law and all that. Well, I mean, that's probably the best way I can describe it here. Then, you know, if you're so low on HP, you know, anything that goes wrong will go wrong, and so the same thing can be said for this game, too. So, I don't know, maybe they just integrated that there. I'm sure they have. I'm very sure the developers had. Yeah, that's right, developers. I know your tricks. You ain't fooling me this time around. No, sir. So, yeah. You can see there that at least there's just a little bit of damage for the Mickey Miracle that you see here for Mickey's own move. So, I guess that's all there is I had to say about this whole thing here. I know it's still 20 minutes. Well, actually, you know, I do want to say, though, that, you know, when I looked at the map layout when I first started to make sure, it's exactly the same, it's literally the same thing as how the map looked in Traverse Town, the way the layout was. So, like, they literally must have copy and pasted the whole map layout. And, you know, and also, I guess this is actually where the Conqueror's Respite would be as well, in the same location, though, but the thing about it is, though, and you know, it'll be like, you know, after I beat the after I defeat the boss of this world, which is of course Ursula, obviously. But yeah, I actually did manage to get lost in this one though, because I was trying to find the Conqueror's Respite, but I ended up taking the wrong turn, and so I kind of wasted some cards because of it, or some world card or map cards actually. So I actually just I had to go ahead and you know, just take the other way, and then I basically skipped out a whole room though, because I technically already fought a level Heartless and gained some experience, so I didn't really want to waste any more time. So that's what it is. And look at that, I'm actually recreating the whole map layout of Traverse Town because I went ahead and used Teeming Darkness for this one, because that's what I did for that world too. So I guess as we go along, I do want to. There's something I do want to talk about though, and so what it was is that I spent literally all day trying to make sure that Adobe Premiere was going good, because you know, when I recorded this, like I actually did 2 recording sessions because I didn't want the videos to be too long though, and so the first half I ended up recording up to 42 minutes, and so I basically just stopped the recording session before well, actually what I did is that, I actually went ahead and fought against Ursula, but then I kind of made a mistake here, so I basically just let her kill me. And so I went ahead and started the recording, and so I did another recording attempt, and then that's why I started actually fighting Ursula this time around. So, yeah, and then that was all because, I had to, I didn't want to make the video too long, though. And so afterwards, the next morning, I tried to edit the videos, and so once again, Adobe Premiere decided to be an absolute fucking bitch, and and act all glitchy, and would constantly freeze itself. And then when I tried to export the video into its own file with all the editing and all that, it would always freeze itself when it gets close to being done. Like, when it gets up to 78%, and then just freezes, and it never moves at all, and it probably would stay like that for eternity. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, a lot of you other users of Adobe Premiere, if you use the latest version, like I'm doing now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are experiencing a lot too. So I mean, it's not just me either. So so because of that, what I had to do was that, and it's a little trick that you can do, is that so one thing I tried to do was clear the media cache, but it didn't do a goddamn thing. In fact, it actually made things even worse for it. So what I did was that I basically just cleared out some disk space in my main drive, and so that actually did help a bit here. So I managed to just delete a lot of the files that I know very well that I will never be using at all. So there's no point for me keeping those. It's just a waste of space if you ask me. So I went ahead and deleted those files, and and that actually managed to work. So so the video was able to be exported successfully. So I was actually real thankful about that. So if you're having any kind of trouble, then it's pretty much a disk space that that might be the cause. So if anything, just make sure you delete some files that you're never going to use, and that way there you'll have a lot of disk space left. And that's actually what I've been working on. Just make sure that I have a lot of disk space cleared, because I know a lot of times there'll be like some new files that'll be randomly coming in, even though you haven't really downloaded per se. So I would say just delete those files and just make some room for your main drive on your computer. So that's what I had to do. So yeah, that's literally what I had to deal with trying to edit these videos, because the whole thing would just go and freeze, and that's about it here. It's stressful and frustrating, and and I guess sometimes Adobe Premiere could be to blame, because oh yeah, as you can see here, I'm low in health now because because no Mickey cards ever showed up, and that's when a lot of those screwdrivers would really try to gang up on me. So and thank God I actually managed to get some more HP orbs out of that barrel before I ever had the chance to fight, because that's what I do, because I don't want it to go into recklessly, and then if I see another Heartless, I just make sure I heal up first by finding some HP orbs in the barrels or some other objects, and then just heal it right then and there. And that's actually at least all you're going to be getting in Riku's campaign, because I know Sora's campaign, it's not just HP orbs, but also Moogle orbs and some new cards, but or basically attack cards and magic cards, but in one of your main deck system. But here in Riku's case, it's just HP orbs, so there's that at least. I'll say that much. So that's actually a lot more than what I would hope for. So yeah, I ended up having to use more of these red cards. I know it doesn't really matter at all which card I use, because they work either way. But I just like to I just like to use the kind of card that matches the exact number of this one. I mean, I don't know why. I just do. But but that's just me. I mean, that's just how that's just how I go here, honestly. I mean, because you guys can play however you want to, though. But that's just what I tend to do, and it's a kind of personal thing where just using the same number of cards, and I just can't help it. So I mean, it's just me overall. So I mean, just my kind of preferred play style or anything. I know it's weird, but that's just how I roll, and that's it. That's just how I be. So yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry about the long pause there. I have nothing else to say here, folks. I literally have nothing else. So I've already I pretty much already explained all what there is, what was going on, and for the whole plot line, and well, at least in Sora's campaign, and also for the whole gameplay mechanics. But that's it, really. And so I mean, just going through Riku's campaign and all that, and that's that's all I can literally say here. So Is there anything else I want to talk about for in terms of plot? Oh, I know what it is I want to talk about. Okay, I'm sorry, that just came out of nowhere, but that actually just came in my head. I do want to say though, so let's talk about Ansem for a bit. And I gotta say though, Ansem actually really comes off as creepy in this whole scenario. And whenever you see some dialogue, you'll definitely see later on though for his kind of dialogue, and you know, it really makes him come off as some kind of as a real creep towards Riku. And you know, well, once we get to you'll see what I mean once we get to him, and you know, I'll just go and explain more about it here. So. Anyway, so now now we have boss door up here, so we're gonna go in here and then we're gonna face off against Ursula. So, like I said, this is actually where I went ahead and ended off this squirting attempt, and so this is actually my second attempt against Ursula, but the first attempt was only because you know, I actually made a mistake with using enemy cards, and you know, something I didn't mean to do. So I basically just just let her win this whole fight, and then so that way there I can try again. So. So this here would be the whole legit fight, so I decided to go ahead and use the Maleficent card for more attack power. Now, Ursula is pretty well known for actually dragging so much, and especially, you know, with the kind of a deck you have. And so, you know, especially with the whole gimmick of having to defeat her tentacles, or destroy her tentacles first, and then go for her next. And so, whenever the gimmick card comes up, then you can go and take the shortcut. But I will say this, though, this actually does not apply to me at all, because, you know, at the very start, I actually did manage to pick up those gimmick cards here, and I think another one's another Zamiki card. And so, by this point, yeah, you can see the meters going all the way up to where Riku goes to his dark mode. And so, yeah, you can see here that another gimmick card came up. So, so I gotta use it again, and then I go ahead and reload my deck again, and then just smack her in the face with more of those attacks. And then, there we go. Look at that. Somehow, and I guess this is luck here, but. Or maybe this the fact that this game just took pity on me and just made it easy for me. But despite the fact that that Ursula is definitely that one boss in Riku's campaign, I guess you could say the same for Kingdom Hearts 1 though. But yeah, I lucked on this one here, and I was given a couple of gimmick cards, and you know, and just be able to use a demo for this one, and you know, finish her off. And that fight did not take very long for me at all. Like, you know, I managed to go through this pretty easily, and. I actually made this whole thing an absolute cakewalk for this here. I don't know how, but, you know, somehow, I guess, you know, or maybe it could be just luck, though, but, yeah, overall, I mean, I guess I lucked out here, where, you know, where I basically just, you know, managed to just make short work of her. So, that was that fight didn't really take long at all, though. It didn't drag out, or didn't pain or anything. It's just, you know, it was a very quick battle, so... Yeah, so that was wow. So I guess you know, yay for me on that one. Man, I probably should get a big achievement for this one though. But no, well, at least in this case for the PlayStation, then trophies. And yeah, as you can see here, you can see that my HP bar increased all the way up. That was actually the point where I got lost here because I went to the northern part of the Teeming Darkness room, and. I thought I was actually looking for I was looking for Conqueror's Respite, and I thought it was going to be up in the middle, but no, it was actually just a regular room, and the actual Conqueror's Respite is just up in the on the top left corner of the whole layout. So because of that, yeah, I kind of wasted a couple of my cards a bit, and so when I went to one of those rooms, I used whatchamacallit, I think it was Feeble. Yeah, I think it was Feeble Darkness. So I used that, and I managed to kill all the Heartless that are in there, though. So since I have already pretty much grinded myself up just by killing more of the Heartless that are in there, then that's when I realized I got lost. So I had to go the other way because I was the right way. So I went for Almighty Darkness, but I decided not to go for all the Heartless here because I decided to grind it up, and also because I didn't want to waste any more time. So that's actually the main thing, though. So I mean, it's kind of just to make up for the fact that. That, you know, I've already killed all the Heartless and got more experience, so, I guess, for me, there was actually no need to just go into continue fighting all that, so, you know, again, I just didn't want to waste any time, and so, gonna go escape for this, endless void right here that is the bottomless darkness. It's all it is, just a black void of nothingness. Oh, man, just remember the word nothingness. That's gonna be important here for the next Kingdom Hearts game, so... yeah, this will be the last room here to use, I think it was Strong Initiative that was here. Was it Strong Initiative? Yeah, I was right. That was Strong Initiative, so... So yeah, that'll just be the last room before we go on ahead. And that other room I used, it was the I think it was a black room where it was all the black fungus that I used here. But that was actually when I realized that there was no open door that would lead to Conqueror's Respite. So that's when I realized that I went the wrong way, and then I had to go back the other way. So I think it's because usually I think it's got to where in the first half of the world, usually after you defeat a boss, and normally the Conqueror's Respite room wouldn't appear in the main lab layout. Or did I say that? I mean main map layout. Sorry about that. I kind of I'm slurring my words again, but yeah, normally it wouldn't appear until after you defeat the boss, and so it would just immediately appear. But I think here in the second half, then the room actually would have already shown up anyway, though. But it wouldn't really appear. But it wouldn't really be unlocked per se at all until after you after you defeat the boss. So that's probably what it was, and so I guess that's probably where things get a little more, confusing, and and then you have to make sure you're going the right way. So that's actually that's basically how I got lost. So so yeah, I like I said, I didn't really want this whole thing to drag out. So, and I think that's about it here. So, folks, I really do hope this would be the last one we ever get to see of Atlantica. And, because, well, who am I kidding? We're going to see her even in a worse way in the next game, too. Also, one more thing I do want to bring up as well. So, despite the fact that the cards that Riku's visiting are based off his memory, just like, with Sora, Atlantica doesn't really make sense at all, though, because Riku has never visited Atlantica. Well, at least for all we know. Because, he has actually been to some other worlds, but he's never really visited Atlantica. And it's the same thing with Halloween Town, but those cards are actually there anyway, and so Riku actually still explores them. So that actually makes no sense at all, though. I don't know what kind of logic there is. So I have no idea how Riku could even have memories of these worlds, even though he's never visited those worlds in Mega and Kingdom Hearts 1. So that's honestly weird, though. And not to mention, they also kind of did away with some interactions with some of the Disney villains that Riku's interacted with, like not just Maleficent, but also Jafar, and well, not so much Jafar, but also Captain Hook, more so Captain Hook.
How can we help you, Vexen? It's not very often we see you topside.
I came to lend you a hand. You obviously believe this Sora has much potential, but I remain unconvinced he is truly worth such coddling. I think an experiment would show if he really is of any value to us.
Well, here we go again. It's just an excuse, so you can carry out your little experiments, that's all.
I'm a scientist. Experiments are what I do. Yes.
Whatever. You can do what you want. But I think testing Sora is just a cover for testing your valet.
Valet? He's the product of pure research.
What he actually is a toy.
You should just learn to be quiet.
Anyway, since you came all this way, you're gonna need this. A humble gift to my elder. I hope you use it to put on a very good show for us. That card holds the memories of Sora and Riku's home.
It's just a card. What good is that?
With a little help from Naminé, you'll have all the real Riku's memories. Maybe we can get her to make you forget you're nothing but a fake. In other words, we'll remake your heart so you can be exactly the same as the real Riku, okay?
You want to remake my heart? The real Riku is a wimp who's afraid of the dark. What do I want with the heart of a loser?
Any objections, Vexen? After all, you do want to test Sora, don't you?
It must be done.
How can you? Are you betraying me?
I told you I would make good use of you, didn't I?
No.
Relax, kiddo. I don't think it's gonna hurt that much.
I'll hurt you!
Stupid little toy. Think you could defeat me? Where would you ever get a thought like that? But look on the bright side. Along with everything else in your head, Naminé will erase the memory of me knocking you flat. Instead, she will implant the loveliest little memories you could ever hope for. It's no big deal that they're all lies.
No. No!
Oh, God, that was actually very creepy and rather disturbing here. Wow, that sure looks like, just getting all too much information from, oh, I don't know, the whole Kingdom Hearts plotline, or maybe the Zelda timeline. Oh, boy. Yeah, that was rather bad. So, anyway, so after all that, let's go ahead and end this off here. So, next time on Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Reverse Rebirth, we'll do our next Disney World. You guys already know. I'm probably repeating myself again at this point. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.